Hi there, good noon and welcome to yet another session where we sit down and work together. पता है यार जब इतना एडवांस में शुरू करते हैं ना तो the probability of success enhances many-fold. So all this time that you spend looking at questions, discussing them with a faculty member, raising your concerns and getting them answered, these are the kind of things that make you better. So the goal is, as far as English goes, the goal is that in another 3-4 months, can we start thinking alike? So I approach a question in a particular way, I break it down in a particular way, I eliminate options thinking of certain techniques that are very effective. So those are the kind of things that I want you to pick up from these sessions, and I am absolutely sure that once you go ahead and pick those things up, nothing can stop you from getting a great score when it comes to the CAT. So a quick look at the VARC in the CAT. So if I talk about CAT 22, we had 24 questions of English out of a total of 66 questions. And within these 24 questions, the breakup was 16 questions of RC, 3 para jumbles, 3 para summary, and 2 questions on para completion, which replaced the paragraph odd one out. And if I actually dive deeper, I'd say out of these 16 questions, almost 11 were reasoning based. So if I look at the last 2 years, CAT 21, CAT 22, the role of critical reasoning has actually gone on to increase. So historically, the average of reasoning based questions is around 35-40%. But in the last 2 years, it is actually significantly higher. So make sure that you are focusing on that. So those of you who are joining us now, I welcome you to BYJU'S Exam Prep channel dedicated to your success as a CAT aspirant. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe so that you can join in and ask your questions during the course of this session. And don't forget to press the bell icon because that ensures that you do not miss out on any session whatsoever. My name is Vikrant. I am your personal coach for all things related to English and communication. Additionally, I've been focusing a lot on productivity and personal knowledge management of late. So if you have any questions regarding those areas, I am again going to be a good companion to reach out to, right? So what I've brought for you today is basically reading comprehension. A major chunk of the exam, a major source of worry for a lot of people. So let's go ahead, work on some RC together, and in the process, we'd hopefully learn certain more things. So shall we start? Ready? So here you go. Passage 1, and a moment from now it'll be there on your screen, but what is it that I want you to do? Well, once you've read the passage, once you've read whatever is on the screen, just drop in a quick yes in the comment box so that I can take you over to the next slide. Okay, so it's a passage obviously which is divided across various slides, and while answering the question, use the seeker on your video to refer back to the passage. Okay, so let's start. Here is the passage. Let me know once you've read it. Okay, so Rohan has responded. He has read it. Rohan, that was really fast. Okay, or maybe you were telling me that you're ready. That'd be a bit too much otherwise. So guys, let me know once you've read it. Okay, can I take you over to the next slide now? I'm sure by now you must have read it. So here is the next slide. Okay, so Agrima definitely told me that she's read it. Done? So taking you over to the next slide now. Ready to move on? Guys, come on, do let me know fast. Things are moving so slow that I feel like it is, like, flowing like Tai Chi. Okay, so here is the last part of the passage. Okay, so I hope by now you have read it. A very good morning, Prakhar. So if you look at the areas, if you do a genre analysis that we do on some session or the other, you'd realize that science and technology based passages are on rise. And I think the reason is that the examiner picks up those passages which are somehow relevant to your life as a manager. Technology is going to bring about a lot of changes, right? So we've seen this focus on cryptocurrency, we've seen this focus on AI nowadays. So and there are a lot of other advancements that are happening, and understandably the examiners are focusing on these. Anthropology is another area that talks about how the societies and those systems evolve that received a lot of focus. But this passage is primarily on science and technology, where it talks about quantum physics. But I shouldn't do that, right? I shouldn't give you a summary right now. Let's solve the questions and then we can go ahead and come back. Rohan, if I show the entire passage on a single slide, the font size has to be really small, and there was a sort of A/B testing that I did, okay, a survey that I conducted, where I noticed that when the font size goes below 16, people start struggling. So I try not to go below 16 unless it is absolutely important, absolutely crucial. Okay, so here is the first question. On your screen, all I need is 3 answers and we talk. Oh, Kaushik, absolutely. I think Chat GPT, who knows, maybe they can create passages using Chat GPT this time around. You never know. I have created one using Chat GPT of late. Okay. Answers, guys, answers. See, right now I'm looking at you. When I do this, I'm actually reading your messages. So, getting a little antsy, getting a little itchy, trying to see the answers really fast. Okay. Okay, so let us start seeing. So first up, in the last couple of years, we have seen these twisted question stems. So all in all, I've been teaching for 22 years. I have taught for various exams, although a major chunk was spent on CAT Aspirants. Over the years, I have seen that there are 21 different question types that get asked. So it's not that the last 2 years have invented a new question type. It's just that they have come up with some really weird, convoluted, roundabout ways of asking that same thing. For example, have a look at this question. If I just stop here, what does it say? None of the following statements can be inferred from the passage, except that. So what does it mean? One of these can be inferred, and the one that can be inferred is going to be our answer. And those of you who've just about started preparation, inference basically means conclusion. What I do while solving these questions is that I go to every answer choice and I label it as true, false, or can't say on the basis of the information provided by the passage. So let us start with A. Loop quantum gravity theory is the first theory that eliminates time entirely. Sorry. Now the very first paragraph tells me that there are multiple theories that eliminate time. Out of all those multiple theories, is loop quantum gravity theory the first one? We don't know. The data provided are insufficient. Therefore, my label to this will be can't say. Okay, B. The theories that reject time as a basic feature of our universe may substitute it with causation as a basic feature. Now, if you look at it, the core of this passage is that there are theories that eliminate time, but then how do we eliminate time? Human beings organize their lives around it. So how do you overcome that challenge? That's the focus, right? And in the last paragraph, we've been told that introducing causation can fix it. So is it a certainty? No, but then look at the use of the word may. That makes it true. Okay, see, science does not accept that time may have no direct impact on our lives. Okay, so now let's just break it down. So let's focus on this part. Time may have no direct impact on our lives. So in general, I think as human beings, we don't believe in it. According to us, it is false. Let's say science does not accept it. So it means that science also considers it false. Is that consistent with the passage? Now, there are so many theories where there is no concept of time at all, which means that according to those theories, time is not a factor in our lives. It means that according to those theories, science accepts that science has no direct impact. So this conclusion is probably false. I'm saying probably false because, I mean, you can call it can't say, because the answer talks about the entire science, where the paragraph talks about only some theories that do not mention time. So according to those theories, it is false. Although there could be some other theories where it could be true. So that is why I can't say. But in the context of this passage, probably false. Let's look at D. Physics has established theories which give clarity on how time emerges and exists. Data insufficient, therefore can't say. So you notice in inference based questions, when we are trying to determine which one is true, which one can be inferred, we just look for an answer choice that is true. And which one turns out to be true here? Option B. And that is why our answer to question 1 should be option B. And with that, let us dive into our next question. Think it over later, okay? Here is the next one. What's your answer? So we say that tables, for example, emerge from an underlying physics of particles whizzing around the universe. What does this example convey? In the given context. So that is the important part. Think it over and let me know. No answers? What happened? Okay, here is a bit of help for you. Let me give you the relevant context. Here it is. So this is where the example is, and you have the context. So read this once, go through this quickly, and then I'll bring you back to the question. Done? Managed to look at the context? So, here is the question again. What do you think is the answer? So basically, in the context of this passage, the author has essentially drawn an analogy to explain it. Is it okay? So what if a theory does not mention time? Can time not exist? A theory, after all, does not mention a table. But we can imagine a table as a higher level entity which is made up of those particles. But then it goes on to tell us that but when it comes to time, it is difficult to think of that time as something that is made up of particles. See this? See this part? So this is the part which was the key. So he said that, okay, we can do that for tables, but we cannot do that for something like time. And that is why option A comes closest to it. Let's look at some of these other ones. Let's say, how about, okay, C is also being picked up. The entire underlying physics of particles whizzing around the universe is unscientific. No, the author in fact is in favor of it. So to call it unscientific, that will be wrong. And that's why we can rule out C. Okay, so you can just break it down. Okay, here is a third question on your screen, and go ahead, give me the answer and then we'll discuss it. Answers, guys, answers. Okay, so we have some answers coming in. Let us see. So first up, this is a question type that falls under the category of main idea questions. Okay, so you need to have that bird's eye view of the entire passage in order to answer this. And as main idea questions go, as this particular variety of question goes, at times we also call them structure based questions, because you are actually supposed to know what was exactly where and in which order. So it's a combination of these two things. So if I look at this particular passage, the author first talks about how existing theory, how there are certain theories where there is no concept of time. But at the same hand, time is important for us, how we believe ourselves to be agents doing things, keeping the future in mind, and how eliminating the idea of time as a fundamental feature makes this entire time orientation of our lives meaningless. Then it says that there are these new approaches, there is this new hypothesis, there is this new way of thinking where we can think of causation as the fundamental feature instead of time, and that can help us link it. So if we map it, first up, there is no time, then time we think of ourselves as agents, and then meaninglessness because there is no time, and then causation. This is how different things have been mentioned here. Okay, so if I look at A and B, A has universe, which was not even mentioned. B, loops, quantum loop gravity theory, yes, but loops, no. And then between C and D, you realize causation came at the very end. not at the beginning, and therefore we can eliminate D. So C is the most consistent with the passage. I wouldn't say it is 100% perfect, but this is as close as it really gets. And that is why we'd go ahead and pick up C. And see, mind you, we cannot leave out causation because that is absolutely important. So ideally, if I have to look at it, certain quantum physics theories that say there is no time. So I'd say no concept of time. Then challenges to the way we basically live our life and how it questions our agency. Then causation resolves it. These are the three key themes, right? And therefore, we'd say that C is the most consistent one. And with that, let us go ahead and look at the last question based on this passage on your screen. This is also once again linked with your ability to identify the main idea. I hope you'd be able to answer it correctly. So give it a quick shot. So guys, what's your take? So Anshi has set the ball rolling. Who else is joining in? According to the loop quantum gravity theory, space and time are made of a network of extremely small discrete loops. Yup, it is given in the first paragraph. B. What new theories of physics call causation is nothing but another name for time. So according to B, causation is equal to time, but that's not true. They can act as substitutes, but it is not another name. Moreover, there are no new theories. It is proposed by this author or somebody else, but there are no theories per se. So this is not mentioned in the passage. C. Some new physical theories to explain the universe do not feature time. True. First paragraph. D. Physics in the new era may explain how time may not actually exist. Extension of C. So this is also in a way given, and therefore Anshi is absolutely right in choosing B as the answer to this particular question. So B it is. And with that, now let us move over to our next passage. Passage 2 on your screen. Let us start, guys. So take a deep breath, move over to the next one. The moment you're done reading it, drop in a quick yes in the chat window, and I will take you over to the next slide. And mind you, you and I happen to have a lag of around 17 seconds. So be patient, okay? Your answer reaches to me 17 seconds later. So as in your answer may reach straight away, but the video generally has a lag of 17 seconds. So keep that in mind, that you may have to wait for a little while. So let's start. Okay, so here is the next part. I'm assuming by now you've read it. Oops, wrong button. Ready? So here is the next one. That's the end of this passage. Done? So just a short 286 word slice of life passage that touches upon philosophy and human psychology in a very easy to understand layperson manner. Okay, and it all talks about not listening to your mind. You are a lot more capable than what your mind at times tells you. So toughen up, prepare. And here is your first question based on this passage. Go ahead, share the answer. So now when it comes to this question, this is a question that I generally call a pure comprehension question. Okay, formally I label it as idea restatement question, where the examiner would pick up a part from the passage, usually a sentence or a part of a sentence, and then they'll ask us for what that sentence conveys. Now in this particular case, I know that when it comes to the mind, what does the author say? The mind is what? Gives out before the body does. What does it really mean? Let's go back to this part. See, look at the context. So basically, you're going to the mountain and mountains are challenging. The mind will complain. So maybe you and I may not understand mountains much, but we have perhaps played a sport or exercised or ran or went to a gym. So there are times when you run or you work out and your mind says, "Bas, bahut ho gaya yaar, that's enough. I can't do it anymore." But that's your mind talking. The truth is, you still have something more left in you. If you cannot move, literally, if you are done in, if your body is exhausted, you will just collapse. But because you've not collapsed, what does it tell you? That you have more juice in you, you have more battery in you, more power in you, right? So mind complains, but I don't listen to it. And most of the time it is not even needed to listen to it. If the goal is to reach the peak or three of them, You do it and deal with the rest later. The mind is what gives out before the body does. It's just a fact. It's just a fact that says that, okay, mind gives up sooner than your body according to this particular person. So overall, this particular attitude of the mind, the author is not very positive about it. He says you shouldn't even listen to it. Right? Now in A, when you say the mind is smart enough, when it is time to give up during a particular adventure, in that case you should listen to your mind. But the author says you shouldn't. So A is ruled out. B, the mind should be made alert to the possibilities that giving up is not an option. Are we saying, where in that context did we have this part, that the mind should be made alert? We are saying that we shouldn't even listen to it. End of the story. You've set out to achieve something, achieve it. Deal with whatever comes in later. So this should be made alert is not provided. But look at C, the mind tends to accept defeat even when the body can continue to progress. That's absolutely spot on. And that is why our answer here should be option C. So A makes it positive, B introduces something that has not even been mentioned. So through the process of elimination, we can actually zero in on the right answer. The moment we ruled out A, we could also have ruled out D along with that. Okay, here is the next one. This is subtle. Let's see what you choose. So what's your take on this? Okay, so Agrima has her answer pat on this time around. Okay, Rohan has also shared his answer, and that's exactly what I was going for. That was the confusion that I wanted to create. So let me eliminate. D is easiest to eliminate. Acknowledging defeat in the face of adversity, the author does not believe in that. That okay, I am defeated. Let's just stop. No. And then the passage does not mention any fight, and therefore this will be out of context. Even this can be ruled out. So now it all boils down to A versus C. Both of them appear tantalizing. Sambuddha, D states the opposite of what the author says. The author says, do not accept defeat when you are challenged. Carry on. This states the opposite. So A versus C, not giving up until the end. Remember that paragraph that we referred to when you have to climb a peak or maybe 3, just carry on. So do not give up. Your mind will ask you to stop, but you do not stop. So A is consistent with that, and C, achieving far more than what we are capable of now. The author believes that we are capable of achieving far more than what we usually do achieve. Remember, a lot of people stop. They do not even reach that level because their mind tells them they're done, so they stop. So in that context, so when you say achieving far more than what we are capable of, look at the context in which it was said. It was said in the context of facing a challenging situation or an adversity, if we may use the word. So when people face a challenging situation or an adversity, their minds ask them to stop, they shouldn't, because in that context, they could achieve far more than what they think they are capable of. Okay. But from there, can we generalize that the author believes in achieving far more than what we are capable of versus what we think we are capable of? There are two problems here. Number one, it cannot be generalized. This was said in the context of an adversity or a challenge. And number two, the author believes we can achieve far more than what we think we are capable of, and not what we are actually capable of. You cannot go beyond what you're capable of. It's just that you do not know your true capabilities, is the argument we made, and that is why C is not as good an option as A, and therefore C should be eliminated and A should be chosen. Okay. Oh, terrific, Sambuddh. Absolutely. Oh, I misinterpreted it then. You remember I told you that we have this lag of 17 seconds. So there are times when you respond the moment you've heard it, but at my end 17 seconds, 15, 17 seconds had gone by. So I miss out on that context at times. My bad. Huh? Okay. Then here is the next one. Oops. Same. Here is the next one. What is the tone of the passage? What do you think? Okay, Agrima was again very quick. Let us see what others have to say. I need 2 more answers, guys. 2 more answers. So, okay, dogmatic and stubborn. The author's tone is positive or negative? We'd have no hesitation in saying it is positive. So you realize B is negative, so let's rule it out. C is carefree and altruistic. Where does it say the author is carefree? You are carefree when you do not take things seriously, even when you should at times. And altruistic is where you are inspired by the benefit of others. So you live a simple life and you devote yourself to benefiting others. Yes, it is mentioned in the first 2-3, in I think the middle of the first paragraph. But beyond that, overall, it is not carefree and altruistic. Literary and factual, there are no facts mentioned, only opinions. So that can be ruled out. And that is what makes A the best answer for us here. And with that, let me take you over to the last question. Another one of those inference based questions that gets tested very frequently in the exam. What's your take? Go ahead. Wow, Sambuddha, I really loved that you've also gone on to describe it. That's fabulous. So what's your take, guys? So I think if I look at B, can't say, and C, can't say. Speaking truth to power is where somebody is in a position of power and you tell or state the uncomfortable truth without bothering about the repercussions. So B and C are definitely easy to eliminate. So the choice essentially is between A versus D. Now A says the author's motivation stems from the fact that he lost his mother to homicide when he was deployed in Afghanistan. Now this part, he lost his mother to homicide when he was deployed in Afghanistan, is true. But then, did that incident motivate the author? Did that incident motivate the author? Think of it. Look at, you just need to refer to the first 3 lines of the passage. Just go to the slide, the first slide, look at the first 3 lines. It says, those lines say, and I'll just read those out for you. Having lost his mother because of homicide when he was deployed in Afghanistan, Jason Rosander chose a different path in life. Was he motivated? No. But he was influenced to take a different path. Now, what was that path? He decided to educate people that they are a lot more capable than they think. And that idea is actually captured in D and not in A. So author's motivation stems from that fact is something that we cannot conclude, and therefore A can also be ruled out. D, on the other hand, is true. Right? Sambuddha, even here, when you say he's a motivational speaker, he is motivating us through this passage, yes. But motivational speakers are those people who go out and deliver public speeches in order to inspire people, in order to light a fire within them. Does he go around offering his services as a public speaker, motivating others? We don't know that, right? So that's where the catch lies. So guys, if you think you enjoyed working with me, don't forget to press the like button. And here is a thought that I wanted to leave you with. And this is from the character called Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory. So there was this dialogue that resonated with me. I don't need sleep, I need answers. I need to determine where in this swamp of unbalanced formulas squatteth the toad of truth. And that's the kind of attitude that I want you to have when it comes to your pursuit of RC. So there is a jumbled mass of words given to you as a passage. Your goal is to figure out the part which leads you to the correct answer through your insight, through your comprehension, through your retention. Make sure that you start doing that, and I'm sure you'd be great in no time. Here are some of the people who achieved great results through working with us. If you want to be one of those, you can join our CAT 23 comprehensive program, which has every feature that you can think of or imagine. And in order to make it easy for you to join this course, we have a scholarship test happening on 14th of May at 11 a.m. So make sure that you do benefit from it, or if you know others who are thinking of joining the CAT course, do spread that word around. And in case you have these questions about, should I do MBA? Is it the right time? Should I work and then join? Or is it okay for me to prepare straight away? If you have all those questions, along with, of course, the strategy related questions, do attend this session taken by Srinivas sir. It'll be tomorrow at 7 p.m. on our app. So make sure that you do attend it. And for more practice, head over to BYJU'S Exam Prep app, where every day we give you section wise quizzes. So ample practice for you there. So this is a series called 500 Most Expected CAT Questions. Make sure that you keep showering your love on this series and keep joining us this way. And we are wherever you are, Instagram, Facebook, Telegram, YouTube, of course. So make sure that you follow us or subscribe us at each one of these places, and do reach out to us whenever you need us. And before I sign out, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Until I see you next, stay safe, stay focused, stay in touch. Have a great day ahead, and I'll see you soon. Take care.